2. Yes, to be sure I do, drawled Lord Ingram, and the poor old stick used to cry out, "Oh, you villains, child!" And then we sermonized her on the presumption of attempting to teach such clever blades as we were, when she was herself so ignorant. We did, and Teddo, you know, I helped you in prosecuting, or persecuting, your tutor, way-faced Mr. Vining, the parson in the pip, as we used to call him. He and Miss Wilson took the liberty of falling in love with each other. At least Teddo and I thought so. We surprised sundry tender glances and sighs, which we interpreted as tokens of la belle passion, or that's more of a Spanish accent, but like beautiful passion. And I promise you the public soon had the benefit of our discovery. We employed it as a sort of lever to hoist our dead weights from the house. Dear Mamma, there, as soon as she got an inkling of the business, found out that it was of an immoral tendency. That is a euphemism. So it's not just that they're flirting with each other, but they're doing something in the bedroom that they shouldn't. Do you guys like that euphemism? Of an immoral tendency. Right? 19th century. Get excited, guys. That's like pretty racy language. Did you not, my lady mother? Certainly, my best. And I was quite right. Depend on that. There are 1,000 reasons why liaisons between governesses and tutors should never be tolerated a moment in any well-regulated house. Firstly, oh, gracious mamma, spare us the enumeration. Ah, rest. We all know them. So she's just saying enumeration is we don't need a list of how bad governesses are, even though she asked for it. The danger of bad example to innocence of childhood, distractions and consequent neglect of duty on the part of the attached, mutual alliance and reliance, confidence thence resulting, insolence accompanying, mutiny in general blow-up. Am I right, Baroness Ingram of Ingram Park? My lily flower, you are right now, as always. Then no more need be said. Change the subject. Amy Eschin, not heeding this dictum, joined in with her soft, infantine tone. Louisa and I used to quiz our governess, too, but she was such a good creature she would bear anything. Nothing put her out. She was never cross with us, was she, Louisa? No, never. We might do what we pleased, ransack her desk, her workbox, and turn her drawers inside out, and she was so good-natured she would give us anything we asked for. I suppose now, said Miss Ingram, curling her lip sarcastically, we shall have an abstract of the memoirs of all governesses extant. In order to avert such a visitation, I again move the introduction of a new topic. Mr. Rochester, do you second my motion? Madame, I support you on this point as on every other. Then on me being the onus of bringing it forward, Signor Eduardo, are you in voice tonight? Donna Bianca, if you command it, I will be. So they're going into Italian, which is, I guess, flirtatious. So when you're trying to flirt, guys, go into a different language. You're welcome. Then, Signor, I lay on you my sovereign behest to furbish up your lungs and other vocal organs, as they will be wanted on my royal service. Who would not be the Rizzio of so divine a Mary? A fig for Rizzio, cried she, tossing her head with all its curls as she moved to the piano. It is my opinion the fiddler David must have been an insipid sort of fellow. I like Black Bothwell better. To my mind, a man is nothing without a spice of the devil in him, and history may say what it will of James Hepburn, but I have a notion he was just the sort of wild, fierce, bandit hero whom I could have consented to gift with my hand. So she's basically saying she wants kind of a bad boy, but not too much of a bad boy. Gentlemen, you hear? Now which of you most resembles Bothwell? Cried Mr. Rochester. I should say the preference lies with you, responded Colonel Dent. So, on my honor, I am much obliged to you, was the reply. So she's basically saying that she likes a Rochester type. So they are flirting in front of everyone. Get excited. Miss Ingram, who had now seated herself with proud grace at the piano, spreading out her snowy robes in queenly amplitude, commenced a brilliant prelude, talking meantime. She appeared to be on her high horse tonight. Both her words and her air seemed intended to excite not only the admiration, but the amazement of her auditors. She was evidently bent on striking them as something very dashing and daring indeed. "Oh, I am so sick of the young men of present day," exclaimed she, rattling away at the instrument. "Poor puny things, not fit to stir a step beyond Papa's park gates, nor to go even so far without Mamma's permission and guardianship. creatures so absorbed in care about their pretty faces and their white hands and their small feet, as if a man had anything to do with beauty, as if loveliness were not the special prerogative of woman, her legitimate appanage and heritage. I grant an ugly woman is a blot on the fair face of creation, but as to the gentlemen, let them be solicitous to possess only strength and valor. Let their motto be hunt, shoot, and fight. The rest is not worth a fillip. Such should be my device were I a man. So she's basically saying that all women need to be pretty, otherwise they don't really deserve to be on the earth, which is terrible. And men, they don't need to concern themselves about looking good. They just need to be able to hunt and kill and fight. So she's looking at very traditional roles of femininity and masculinity. Whenever I marry, she continued after a pause which none interrupted, I am resolved my husband shall not be a rival, but a foil to me. I will suffer no competitor near the throne. I shall exact an undivided homage. His devotion shall not be shared between me and the shape he sees in his mirror. Mr. Rochester, now sing, and I will play for you. I am all obedience, was the response. Here then is a corsair song. Know that I dote on corsairs, and for that reason sing it con spiritu. Commands from Miss Ingram's lips would put spirit into a mug of milk and water. Take care, then. If you don't please me, I will shame you by showing how such things should be done. That is offering a premium on incapacity. I shall now endeavor to fail. Gardez-vous en bien. Be very careful. If you err willfully, I shall devise a proportionate punishment. So this is all like very flirtatious about like punishing each other. I don't know. 19th century, guys. Miss Ingram ought to be clement, for she has it in her power to inflict a chastisement beyond mortal endurance. Explain, commanded the lady. I love this, though. Like, this is like, what do you guys call it these days? When you're like talking, banter. This is banter, but 19th century banter, right? Yeah? Okay. Hopefully it's making you like want to read. It's like watching a telenovela or like soap opera right now. Pardon me, madame, no need of explanation. Your own fine sense must inform you that one of your frowns would be a sufficient substitute for capital punishment. Sing, said she, and again touching the piano, she commenced an accompaniment in a spirited style. Now is my time to slip away, thought I, but the tones that then severed the air arrested me. Mrs. Fairfax had said Mr. Rochester possessed a fine voice. He did. A mellow, powerful bass, into which he threw his own feeling, his own force, finding a way through the ear to the heart, and there waking sensations strangely. I waited till the last deep and full vibration had expired, till the tide of talk, checked an instant, had resumed its flow. I then quitted my sheltered corner and made my exit by the side door, which was fortunately near. Thence a narrow passage led into the hall. In crossing it, I perceived my sandal was loose, and I stopped to tie it, kneeling down for that purpose on a mat at the foot of the staircase. I heard the dining-room door unclose. A gentleman came out. Rising hastily, I stood face to face with him. It was Mr. Rochester. How do you do? He asked. I am very well, sir. Why did you not come and speak to me in the room? I thought I might have retorted the question on him who put it, but I would not take that freedom. I answered, I did not wish to disturb you, as you seemed engaged, sir. What have you been doing during my absence? Nothing particular, teaching Adele as usual, and getting a good deal paler than you were, as I saw at first sight. What is the matter? Nothing at all, sir. Did you take any cold that night you half drowned me? Not in the least. Return to the drawing-room. You are deserting too early. I am tired, sir. He looked at me for a minute. And a little depressed, he said. What about? Tell me. Nothing, sir. I am not depressed. But I affirm that you are, so much depressed that a few more words would bring tears to your eyes. Indeed, they are there now, shining and swimming, and a bead has slipped from the lash and fallen onto the flag. If I had time and was not in mortal dread of some prating prig of a servant passing, I would know what all this means. Well, tonight I excuse you, but understand that so long as my visitors stay, I expect you to appear in the drawing-room every evening. It is my wish. Don't neglect it. Now go, and send Sophie for Adele. Good night, my... He stopped, bit his lip, and abruptly left me. Oh my gosh, guys, he cut off at like the worst spot. He was probably going to say my dear, which is totally like, inappropriate. Exactly. and he notices her and how she like she's probably pale because he's been flirting with Blanche all night. But he wants her there, and it's just so sweet. Like reading like how much emotion and how much we share on our faces and communicate with our faces. Oh my gosh. Okay.